Hello and welcome to Season 1, Race 1 of my F1 2021 My Team Career Mode with Rockstar Energy Racing. We are here at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we qualified P12, which... So, this was something I was sort of intrigued to see because with the schedule changes, Bahrain, or I should say Australia, which is the normal season opener, typically isn't one of my best tracks. I mean, I do okay around Australia. It's not a terrible track for me. But I've always found that first race at Australia, in the first season of career mode, is always a little difficult. But Bahrain is a track that I normally do pretty well at. So I think I'd sort of say I qualified well above my level here, or the performance of the car, especially with Guan Yu Zhou all the way down in P21, getting qualified by Mazepin of all people. Yeah, I think there's a very good chance we could score points in this race. If we're starting in a good position, I feel like we could make a one-stop strategy work for us to get into the points. And again, Bahrain is just generally a good track for me, so... should be interesting to see how it plays out, ultimately. Here you get a look at our workstation. Honestly, I was a little surprised because I put red as the third color. And, when you look at the Rockstar Energy logo, or like the can, I mean, there is red in there, but it's not as prominent. So, I mean, I guess it's fine. It's not that big of a deal, but, yeah, so we'll just give a quick look at the facility here. Go into the workstation. Not staged to pick a rival just yet. Research and development, we've actually got some things going on here. I purchased 2 upgrades for the chassis. Now with my answers, with the answers I gave in the initial press meetup with Will Buxton, based on my comments, it automatically gave me upgrades for aerodynamics, powertrain, and the durability. Whereas with the chassis, I made a compliment where it already upgraded the department to the next level as a whole, but not any other actual upgrades. The one failed, so I was expecting one of them to come in for Bahrain, actually. That didn't happen. But I fixed it, so both of them should be good to come in for Spain, if I'm lucky. And then after the practices, I went out and got a durability on the MGU-K, I believe. So there's that. And when you click on it, you can see. So I was wondering where you would view the areas where you see what the performance compared to everyone else for that department. And yep. So Aero, Mercedes, and Red Bull close to even, I would say. Chassis. With the upgrades, we actually had the chance to jump Alfa Romeo and get sort of close to AlphaTauri, so that's sort of good. Red Bull has the best chassis. Powertrain. As Aston Martin, for some reason, as the best power unit right now, which is quite interesting when, I would say, in real life, I'd say Red Bull is probably the best power unit at the moment. And then durability. It's Ferrari and Alfa Romeo and Haas have the best durability at the moment. So there you go there. And there's the list of the parts that are in development. And there is where we are on the performance chart, sort of right even with Alfa Romeo. That front engine stuff. And yeah, there's really not much else to do besides go to the Bahrain Grand Prix and kick off officially. As I double check the settings, just double checking the difficulty. 78% is what we're looking for. And yeah, we are going to go to safety car in the standard, which is good. Formation left's on, which is good. Just wanted to double check. Just wanted to double check and make sure that everything was running smoothly, and yeah, we can advance right to the first race of the season. Should be an interesting race.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Leclerc, Vettel, Sainz and Pierre Gasly. The owner driver, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda and Ocon, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and George Russell. Mazepin, Stroll, they've taken a grid penalty. Joe and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So already in season one, or the first race, we have a grid penalty as Lance Stroll starts well down the order. So just checking the tire strategies. And the default strategy has me going for soft or medium to hard, and then going from there to the end of the race. Well, I think I could do better than that. Now I'm going to go for the alternate strategy and start on the soft tire, but I'm going to see if I can stretch it out. I'm going to see. This is early days, first race, tire wear isn't great, but I want to attack right out of the gate and see what I can do, especially with the player faults involved. Let's edit that. We are on soft tire. The career settings just to double check. So, yep. So, with the fault frequency is low, but it's still a possibility. So, with that in the back of my mind as a possibility, I have to really try to go for every point I can in the event that I have a failure of some kind. So I'm not going to be conservative. I'm just going to go straight for it. So let's get to it. So we're going to do the formation lap.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
I always enjoy doing the formation lap, just get everything double checked and ready.
Okay, our main competitors in this race are Sainz and Alonso. Radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Of course, based on some of the other races I've done, I expect to lose some ground on the initial getaway, but I feel like we can make that back up pretty quickly.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Alright, the time has come. First race on my team career mode for F1 2021 at the Bahrain Grand Prix. 5 red lights, And we're underway. Immediately get swamped by Alonso and Tsunoda. Ocon looking for a move. We're going to dip down back to the inside. Ooh. I think I went a little too deep for my liking. Really get the inside of Sainz. Pushing us off a little bit. Going 3 wide with Sainz and Alonso. Really, Sainz, you have to cut right in front of me. And then put the brakes on too. That's lovely. What a great start. Wonderful start. Here we go. Alonso trying to make a move on Sainz, it doesn't work. We're going to go in between the both of them. Get around Sainz for the position. A little wide. We get there. We're up to P10. One of the Mercedes cars had not a very good getaway. I think that must have been Bottas. Gasly ahead of us is on medium tires. So we should try to get by him if we can. Maybe not into this corner, but down the front straightaway we should be able to slipstream past him for position. Around the outside. A little too much contact there. Too much contact. And I turned right into him. Don't want that to happen. Oh, we got a yellow flag already.
Check your...
As I freaking plow right into the back of Gasly. Inside of Gasly, get the move done.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
There was somebody who stopped back there. I'm not sure what happened. I think it was one of the Alpines. Oh, that was that Alonso? I think that was Alonso. A rare mistake from the two-time world champion. Alonso goes for a spin on the second lap of the race. You do not... It's very rare that you see a mistake from Fernando Alonso. Look at that, he just lost it. Lit the rears coming through that corner, and he just lost control. More from his teammate Esteban Ocon, who was right behind him. And yep, just lit up the tires and spun her around. No harm, no foul for Alonso. I guess he didn't hit anything, but he's going to go all the way to the back. important thing now is to try to get ahead of Gasly by more than a second so that we're outside of the DRS range.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second.
Looks like
of the
we've
car
done that
ahead and in the
successfully.
DRS zone.
Gasly now 1.7 seconds behind us. And we're on the tail of Leclerc's Ferrari as well, so good start to the race for us. And again, I would not expect things to be going like this if it were Australia. If it were Australia starting the season, it'd be more of a real struggle and a real fight for me just to get points in the very first race of the first season. But again, Bahrain is one of my better tracks, one that I do like, that I do enjoy driving. So it wasn't shocking to me to have qualified up in P12, but it's not necessarily a shock that I'm running as well as I am at the moment. Now, pit window projections lap 7, I want to say. But again, we're going to try to extend that as much as we can in order to try to make it on a one-stop, soft to medium.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
Boy, we've really left Pierre Gasly in the dust right now. He is under attack from Carlos Sainz. And I just want to double check the race director. Is Alonso still back in 22nd? Yeah, he's still back there in 22nd. So that's where he's running at the moment. Oh, you got a purple sector 1. Like, I guess it's just even a better example. I think when we go to Spain in the next race, I think that's a track that will be more reflective of our performance. So yeah, just to, and probably Monaco as well. Though it's hard to see with Monaco. You never really know. I was good at Monaco, until the first game with the Halo, and then after that it was just a struggle every single time. So don't think I'm gonna really pass Leclerc just yet. I think I'm content
Window. You'll be on the mediums.
to not really fight him. I think I'm content just riding and then just like coasting just to save some fuel. As long as I keep it in his DRS range, I'm pretty happy with where I'm running at the moment. Okay, behind him and Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin.
We expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Meanwhile, Valtteri Bottas still stuck in the McLaren sandwich. Not sure who's in front and who's behind him. It's actually Norris ahead of Bottas ahead of Ricciardo. And being trapped between the two McLarens is keeping Bottas from catching the front group of Hamilton, Perez, and Verstappen. So the Red Bulls do have the opportunity to double team Hamilton at this rate, if they so desire. We are now 5 seconds, over 5 seconds ahead of Pierre Gasly. Though remember, he is definitely going for a one-stop, obviously, because he's starting on the medium tires. That is his intent. Fully, 100%. As Carlos Sainz passes him for that final points-paying position. So Gasly's, he's much like me. I think he's definitely going to gain on the pit stop cycle. It's just a matter of how much he's going to gain. Bottas has finally cleared the McLarens, and he set his sights on Sergio Perez.
In this lap, push now.
Equal to our first mid-session save. Always gotta do a mid-session save. And look at the race director, so again, Gasly is the one we're really looking at in terms of people on the medium tires, and we're also technically on a team that's doing a one-stop strategy, or trying it anyway. Let's take a look at the tire wear. 47%. Oh, I'm just going to take a second to send a message. Just taking a second to send a message here. Alright. So we continue on. But yeah, with the tire wear, I think we can easily pull off a one-stop here if we stretch it to lap... If we stretch it to lap 10, because I feel like if we can take the soft tires 10 laps, we could easily take the mediums 19 laps or whatever. I think we could pull that off. Good cars coming in already. You got one of the McLarens, one of the Ferraris, one of the Red Bulls. Let's take a look here and see who's doing what. So the first car in is Max Verstappen, going from softs to mediums. Ferrari and McLaren also doing the same thing with Daniel Ricciardo and Leclerc, soft to medium. I should say, I presumed that the front runners who were starting on softs were doing a two-stop. I don't know that for a fact. Now, importantly, if we look back here, you got Verstappen stuck in a little bit of traffic, and then you've got Ricciardo stuck in traffic as well. So that's going to hurt them right now. Not able to take full advantage of their fresh tires. More pit stops coming. One of the Mercedes, the other Red Bull of Perez, the other McLaren and Lando. And I believe that was Hamilton that pitted because Valtteri Bottas is in the lead. We'll see who wins the race out of the pits. Where is Verstappen? Just coming down the main straight, and yeah, Hamilton's definitely going to beat him out quite easily. And Hamilton, interestingly, Hamilton goes for another set of softs, so he's going very aggressive right out of the gate. So that's quite interesting. So if this strategy works, we could be net ahead of Lewis Hamilton once the pit stop cycle out, because you put on another set of soft tires, so he absolutely must stop again. He is definitely, absolutely doing a two-stop strategy. No question about it. Now, to get the strategy to work, I had to take these soft tires for one more lap. So what I'll do is I'll do a mid-session save right here, case anything happens, like a tire puncture or something. Um, Bottas into the pits, as is Sebastian Vettel. And for the moment, we lead in our very first Grand Prix. We lead here in Bahrain.
You are in first position, front of the pack. Hamilton is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 7.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Your pit window is open. Pit window is open. You have 20 laps till the end. Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap. Affirmative. Medium tyres at the next stop.
So I'm wondering now, I'm curious to see if Verstappen does a two-stop, because for him, if he does a two-stop, he could go on softs at the very end and then just charge at Hamilton, who's surely going to be on a set of mediums.
Those tyres are going to fall off the cliff soon. Take extreme care. Pitting this lap then.
Don't
Come
worry,
into the pits
Jeff.
at the end of this lap.
We are pitting this time by, so no need to worry about the tires anymore. Hamilton zooms by with the lead. Gasly still on track on those medium tires.
Go now.
Alright, there we go. Should not be needing to stop it again the rest of the race.
Only one stop to go. One stop left in this strategy.
Side by side with Antonio Giovinazzi. In the Alfa Romeo, we get by him, no problem. Battling with Mick Schumacher's Haas. Stuck behind Mick at the moment. Should be able to get by him here. Easily. ERS deployed, DRS activated.
Nice move. Good job.
Easy pass for position.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.4 seconds.
Check the race director. Yeah, so Hamilton, Bottas, Perez, Norris, and Vettel are definitely going to be a disadvantage towards the end of the race relative to the rest of their competition, because that they're going to have to go on a set of medium tires, while I don't know what Verstappen's strategy is. He might be going for another set of mediums, which would be kind of silly. Why would you not go for another set of softs if you have one?
Our gap behind is 2.0 seconds.
The advantage those guys will have over me for sure is that, they're going to have much fresher tires than me, even if I come out ahead of them.
P13, you are currently in P13. Raikkonen ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 1.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Schumacher behind. The gap to the car behind is 2.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, gap to leader, 24.5 seconds. Pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps, 17 laps to go.
Gonna make a move on Kimi. Little bit too much contact there. Power down out of the corner, going side by side with the Finnish driver, former world champion. We are by into 12th place. The question for me remains, well, I was going to say when are the medium tire runners going to pit? We just have one right now, Kimi Raikkonen, and Gasly is in the pits as well.
Gap to teammate behind is 11.8 seconds.
Little bit too much of a bump there. Little bit too much. Right behind us, Esteban Ocon, another Renault-powered car. We'll make a move on him here. We do into P10, back in the points on our debut. One second. Just checking on something there. Closing in on Yuki Tsunoda, who dives into the pits, but gives us DRS, so thank you, Yuki. I appreciate that very much.
on you is coming in for his stop.
Gasly, as I suspected, he's on hard tires. He's about 9 seconds down, 10 seconds behind me. Trying to stay off the curbs a little bit just to protect the tire the best I can. I presume that not running over curbs will help the tire wear on the left front, which has been the tire so far that's had the most wear.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Norris is in the pits, as is Perez. I think they went for another set of mediums. You know what? If we have to make a second pit stop, it says we're going to come out in 10th place. I'm wondering if why not just try, because I see nobody is going for a soft tire for the second stop. So I'm wondering, maybe instead of trying to stretch it and tiptoe on the mediums all the way to the end, I just throw on a pair of softs and then just go balls to the walls all the way to the end of the race. Maybe even go for the fastest lap. Bottas comes out right in front of Leclerc. Has Lewis stopped again? Okay, Lewis just came in for a second stop, so that's why he's so close in front of us. Leclerc dives into the pits.
Gap to car in front is
As is
5.1
Ricardo.
seconds. No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Verstappen blows by. Got one more lap, then I'll pit.
Right, come in at the end of this lap. Roger that. Soft tyres at the next pit stop. Okay, we can take you this lap. It looks like we might have an issue. Hang in there. We're attempting to manage it.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
It looks like we're experiencing an ERS software glitch.
An ERS glitch. Okay, well, it's not the end of the world, since you can't use ERS. It's not a disaster. Does that mean you just can't use ERS? Yep, we can't use ERS, which, that's annoying a little bit, but not a end of the world kind of issue. We're still running on soft tires. So we're still in a solid position. So you just have to work a little harder. I'm gonna wait to pass Leclerc until the straight so I can take advantage of DRS to help propel me down the straight and bid for the fastest lap. Using that DRS deployment, I'm gonna switch back to the left. I'm gonna pass Leclerc into turn 1 pretty easily. That issue. We are into P9. ERS back online, just in time too. There we go, purple sector 1. That's what we like to see. Gasly ahead on hard tires. We should easily get him before the end of this race. Get by Gasly here. Here we go. Up into P8. Fastest lap of the race. There we go. We're going to have to do some fuel saving here. Actually, a lot of fuel saving. Perhaps, I don't know if we'll be able to get past Vettel. Perhaps just getting onto his DRS will help us save a little bit more fuel. I mean, we're almost right on his, in the range, so... I might just hang back on Sebastian Vettel here and just save as much fuel as possible, just to make sure that I have enough to get to the end. He could drag me along here. Meanwhile, Leclerc and Gasly were battling for P10. I believe it was Leclerc and Gasly. It might have been Gasly and Sainz. Yeah, Leclerc and Gasly are pretty clear of Sainz in 11th, so unless anything happens with those guys, we should be in the clear. Actually, I want to check something real quick. Safety car is on. Standard. And formation lap's on, so I was just curious. No safety car, no retirements. Start off the first race. That's very interesting opening race in that regard. Really, the only incident was Fernando Alonso's early spin. That was it. And that almost surely cost his team points. He would have been right up in the fight with Gasly and Leclerc and Sainz, I think. Anyway, final lap of the race. I think I'm just content riding here in 8th place. And Lewis Hamilton wins the opening round of the 2021 season from the pole. I believe Bottas will be in second, Max Verstappen will be in third. And it appears that in our debut race, we're going to get 8th place, but we will secure 5 points, given that we have earned the fastest lap. So I think this meets our requirements already for our sponsor goal for the season, so what a way to kick
That's
things
the end
off.
of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Can we get driver of the day? How about that?
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So a ham butt for a podium. One of the most common podiums in the history of Formula One. Does it again.
So let's review the updated driver standings. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I'm going to give it to the owner-driver today. Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not easy to cut through the field like that in Formula One, so it was a great effort.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes move to the top of the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So I must have missed the part where Lance Stroll retired from the race. Happened right at the very end of the race. So I'm not sure if there was an accident or what the situation was. I don't even know where he was running. No listed incidents. Let's see if it's in the highlights. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what happened to Lance Stroll. I don't recall ever seeing a yellow flag. So I guess it must have been an engine failure of some kind. I didn't notice any notification that he had dropped out, so yeah, I don't know. Can't say. And I guess we'll give props to our teammate Guan Yu Zhou. Finished 18th, beating Nikita Mazepin. Managed to stay in front of Fernando Alonso for the whole race, so I guess Fernando was never really able to recover from that spin. And he gained a spot from Lance Stroll retiring, presumably, and he finished 3 places ahead of where he started, so not a terrible showing, considering where we are on the pecking order for his debut. So, yeah, we'll check the standings real quick. Nothing really to check. Drivers just reflects the results of the first race. Constructors, 7 of the 11 teams scored points. Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, Aston Martin, Rockstar Energy Racing, Ferrari, and AlphaTauri all scored points. Alpine, Alfa Romeo, Haas, and Williams yet to be on the board.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
I'm going to go with... I think our power unit was actually pretty good, so I'll go with that.
You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. Great. Well, that's everything.
I do think our power unit was pretty good. For that race, at least. Despite the ERS issue, which really didn't impact us that much. Getting some big acclaim there. Get some good cash flow. 75k, no damage deductions. 1.65 mil. We'll give a quick look at the team headquarters, of course.
That ERS failure must have been infuriating. We should focus on upgrades to our powertrain. That should help reduce the likelihood of faults like these cropping up again in the future.
Yeah, I'd say so. Oh, and I forgot to mention that whole thing is ironic because I purchased a driver perk for the race, which reduced the engine wear by 10%. So that was interesting. I'll just say that. We do have an event, but we'll take care of that first. That was a nasty ERS fault you ran into out on the track. Speaking with the team, it looks like we can help reduce our chances of further ERS issues by investing more in our powertrain development. On a more positive note, the fault has helped us identify a problem area that's been plaguing us for months now. This should free up development on other areas a little, and you get 300 resource points out of that, which is good. Got no problems with that. Let's actually go look at Guan Yu Zhou. 80% focus. He's feeling pretty good right now. Obviously, we can help him out more. So let's do a power equipment upgrade, which will... See, this is interesting here. So, one event reduces the morale of the other departments, but we could do this one and get the exact same thing. So, that's a pretty easy choice for me. Simulator training for Guan Yu Zhou. I think that's pretty easy decision there. We'll do a supplier HQ tour, which will give us some resource points. And then we'll do second driver PR filming, which will give us some cash. R&D. See what we can do. Well, let's go for the ignition system. An enhanced ignition system controls spark plug timing in a more efficient manner, thus creating additional engine power. Alright, so there we go for that. Go back. So we have a lot of potential upgrades coming on the car. And you're going to an event for the personnel department. This department has requested your attendance at today's meeting to help them resolve an issue. But before we do that, actually that's fine. We'll go to that first. Okay, as a team owner, you will be occasionally approached by your departments to tackle a department event. These events can trigger at any point while advancing time in your HQ. Ask you to make difficult decisions and cover a range of topics such as marketing, drivers, media, development, facilities, sponsors, and more. How you choose to respond to these events has a direct effect on everything from your team acclaim to your driver's stats, and may even be the subject of discussion in interviews, so it's essential to take your time when selecting an option.
The personnel department has asked us to deal with this. We have a couple of options here. Take your time. What you decide to do will have consequences.
So, Guan Yu Zhou has been really hitting their stride in the simulator recently. While they're in the zone, where should we get them to focus their development? So we can do improving their overall pace, or we can focus on them reducing mistakes. I think right out of the gate, we'll look at improving his pace.
You handled that well. Thank you.
Alright. So, let us advance time here. Take a lot of time for the next race.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
Okay, so it looks like one of the chassis must have failed development. Do we have enough points to take care of that? We do. And the good news is we have such a break that it'll come through for the Spanish Grand Prix anyway, so that ends up not being that much of an issue. So that's good to see. We have 2 billion in the bank, so I think it's a good time to invest in another department. I think I'm gonna work on the quality control for the durability, because I think that's the most important thing. Just increase or decrease the chance of part failures and wear. So we'll go with that. And then I think we're gonna go to driver perks again. And we're gonna do development feedback to uptick our resource points by 10%. So I think some good investments there. And we'll do a season break on the way to the Spanish Grand Prix. And we got more activities. We already used up all of these. We'll just throw attending an esports event in there. And yeah, I don't think there's much else for us to do at the moment, so we will just advance the time.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
Hopefully we have enough to fix that. So, won't come in for the Spanish Grand Prix, but it should come in for the Monaco Grand Prix, which... And not the best place to deploy a engine upgrade, but any upgrade is good, so we'll live with that. But in other news, we have a marketing event, which we will go to now.
Finally, some good news. It's entirely up to you how we handle this.
Alright. Famous action movie star and closet F1 fan Clay Donovan is going to be local for the next few weeks, shooting pickups for an upcoming project. His agent's been in touch asking, quite politely for a Hollywood type, I might add, whether we'd permit him to take a tour of the factory. This could be quite a coup for us in terms of publicity. What do you reckon? Um, the price is steep, but I say we do it. It's 2,000 team acclaim. Why not?
Thanks. I appreciate you taking the time to help out.
Maybe we can get him in some Rockstar energy drink ads in the future. You never know.
We're in a position now where we're able to attract a new sponsor to the team.
Ooh.
Head on over to the corporate tab and select the sponsors screen to choose who we should approach.
That was quick. I like that. Alright, let's take a look here. At what we got. Now, I am particularly a fan of this one. Zyneto, of course, was a sponsor from F1 2020 that I liked, so I think we'll go with this one. And the goal is pretty easy. Answer at least 2 interview questions during a race weekend. We usually get at least 1 interview during the whole of the weekend, so I think that's a good one to go with. And now, I gotta figure out how to put that one on the car. Sponsor decals. Put that one there. I think I'll put it here too. Actually, might be better positioned there. So Zyneto 1, 2, potentially 3, potentially 4, 5. I think it's good. So Monet Perry gets 6, Zyneto gets 5 slots. Yeah, so we already got our second sponsor on the car. That's pretty good for right out of the gate in career mode. So there you go. Car's looking good. Everything's going very swell so far. And that will be it for this episode. So I'd say the plan is probably to do the Spanish Grand Prix on Monday, and then I won't do the Monaco Grand Prix until the next weekend. So until then, I'll see you for the next race, which again will be the Spanish Grand Prix.